What's up, everybody? This is your boy Jason. Some people say zombie collector. Thought I do a little live streaming from my balcony here at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, USA. And just kind of taking it. I haven't really got to enjoy the ocean much. So it's a limited view, unfortunately. And the years pass when we go on vacations. This actually is more of a trip with my son for his travel ball. We had a pretty expansive patio outdoor area, so you don't really have the problem of people blocking the view with a big concrete wall like this right there, but it is what it is. And so I'm just kind of perusing the ocean here. Taking in the sights and the sounds. I'm not much of a beach person myself. I think when I was younger, my parents took us to Florida a whole lot. And after being scorched by the sun, every year, and my lily white Irish skin could barely handle the sun, it pretty much ruined any true love of the beach and the ocean. I don't mind going out like on evenings like this or in the mornings. Dusk and dawn I'm kosher, but middle of the day just laying around on the beach, that's just not my idea of a good time. So I usually try to avoid the beach as I can. But yeah, I got some. I guess it's a story time. If we get a handful of people in here, I might talk about some stories because there's some funny shenanigans happen. As you know, with me, it's always something going on. Can't ever be easy. My life can never have just simple things. If you all have been with me on my channel a couple years ago, you all will remember the fiasco that was the rental car fiasco. That was something from another planet. A Heroic Waffles, dude. Epic name, dude. What is up? Mi hermano, my brother. So it was nowhere near as bad as that. That was probably the worst experience I ever had traveling on a vacation. The rental car situation. I hope I'll never have something like that again. That's what was not as bad, but it just if anybody's ever done vacations, right? No matter if it's a vacation in the same state, in the next town, or if it's across this United States or another country, it's a vacation, right? You're wanting to get away. You want to leave all your problems behind. You want to leave the hustle and bustle of your life behind, and you want to have a nice vacation. That's the whole reason vacation is. That's what it's for, right? You don't want to deal with real life problems and real situations and having to deal with putting out fires. That's like the last thing you want to do. I would think that's pretty universal, right? And and it's just when that doesn't happen, it's so frustrating. It's just so, it's really just asinine, I guess. And that's the word I like to use. And I feel like it's an appropriate word. It's an appropriate word for what is going on. Sometimes it's just the people, they just treat you like you should just take it, or you're the one with the problem, or they're doing you a solid or whatever. And you just kind of look, you just have to think, you're like, is this real life? Do people really tolerate being treated or getting pushed around? I don't know if that's the world we live in. But unfortunately for them, when they pull the short straw, if they got me, because I'm not going to just sit down and take things lightly and lay down and just be steamrolled or being pushed around, or just having somebody try to talk to me oh, well, let me give you a stern talking to, and that'll set you on your ways, set you straight. Man, that's just not the reality. And so I have to push back a lot. Hey, what up, Steve? Appreciate you popping in. both you guys. I think there's maybe one other person in there hanging out with us for a bit. I appreciate it. So, it's just frustrating because we all want to go on vacations. We all want to spend time with our families, or even as a vacation with you and your pals or your friends or whatever the case may be. You wanted to go off without a hitch. You wanted to go off with fun and not real world problems, not any issues, not any hangups. You just want to enjoy. You want to have nothing to worry about. And when you run into problems and you have all this this ridiculousness at hand, it just takes away from the fun. At least, in my humble opinion, it does. And so let me kind of move. I mean, like I talked about earlier, unfortunately, the view is being obstructed by this concrete wall over here. But still cool view. If I scoot over here a bit, you can kind of see down the beach. I'm trying to hold this. I mean, like I'm hanging over the side of a rail, so I'm trying not to obviously drop my phone, most importantly. But also, I don't want to drop myself because that'll be the last live stream you'll ever have from Zombie Collector. And you'll just hear me crying and screaming all the way down before it goes splat. So, but the one thing I love about the beach, like I was saying earlier, was that even though I'm not a fan of it during the hours of like 10 a.m. to like 7-ish, even 8 a.m. or p.m., because I don't want to deal with the hot sun and just can't escape the heat, can't escape the sun. I do enjoy it in the mornings. I do enjoy it in the afternoons. I do it in the mornings and the evenings. But I do not enjoy it during the day. So Luca my son just sent me a text and said that he's out swimming here in the ocean with some of his buddies from his baseball team. So I'm going to keep a lookout and see if I see him pop up. He doesn't know I'm out here. So, and even if he did, I don't even know if you can hear me. His mom's out here walking around, I think, somewhere too. So, but like I was saying, I'm not the biggest fan of just strolling around in the hot summer sun on the beach. I know I'm pretty lame, but as most people know, my channel know I'm lame. So this is probably not coming as a surprise to anybody, quite honestly. I did get to go to a card shop a couple of days ago. Actually, it was yesterday. It's called Coastal Cards here in Myrtle Beach, and it was great. It was great. Bought about $100 worth of cards. I bought one. I'll do a separate video. I actually brought all the cards and put them down in my car. But I bought a bunch of singles. Mark from Kentucky told me about that shop, and he said you need to check it out because they have like these little like black bags. That's probably about like you could probably put like maybe 5 or 6 maybe slabs in, but they use those bags, and you can fit as many of their dollar cards as you can get into the bag for $15. So most people can get about 20 cards in there. So you can get 20 cards for $15. So I filled up a bag for $20 or for $15, 20-ish cards. I did they had like a 50-cent box or a quarter box for wrestling cards. I did a box of that. I bought they had a whole bunch they had cases filled with like mid to late 90s like inserts and like hard to find stuff to like modern things that popped out of a pack yesterday. And they had a $5 case and under. They had a $10 to $20 case. And I think they had another case, and I bought a handful of cards that were like Otanis and some Darvishes and Ichiros, a couple of Greg Maddoxes. And then I bought a blaster of 2022 Heritage. I think it was the 70, is it 70, 19, oh shoot. The one with the black borders, the Black Beauties, is that 72? I can't remember. I'm terrible about stuff like that. I think that's 72. I could be I'm sure I'm wrong. Somebody will correct me if they watch this video back, or somebody's in here now will tell me. Whatever the Black Beauties were, I picked up a box of those. I opened that up today, and I didn't do terrible. I got 3 or 4 short prints. I got a couple other inserts. Didn't get anything chrome, which sucks. I did get a relic card of Yordan Alvarez, so I guess that's the one. If you're gonna have one, that's the one to get, I guess. I don't know. I think he's pretty good, if I remember correctly. At least he used to be. Maybe he's a complete bust now, but I feel like he gets talked about still a lot. I'll be staying with baseball card. I just ignore the nonsense and politics put in the sport thing. Yeah, dude. That's the thing. I have to be careful, dude. You're right, Steve. You obviously been around for a while. You know me pretty well from my channel. I think you and I've talked on the phone a couple of times a few years back. We were probably chatting, quasi through texting or phone calls from time to time. And, yeah, dude, you know how it is, man, with me. Trust me, I don't want to be distracted by that nonsense. I really do not. I don't want to be distracted by it. I just want to enjoy card collecting. I want to enjoy. I mean, actually, right now, if we go into our condo, I have the Yankees and the Mets on exactly at this moment. So I mean, I'm watching baseball all the time now. Literally all the time. I'm turning around watching right now. The Yankees are pitching. So it's not, I'm not just giving people lip service now. Just to try to build some street cred again. Like I'm watching baseball, if not daily, 3 to 5 times a week in some capacity now. I'm loving it. But I hear those stories about the guy with with Anthony Bass and Toronto Blue Jays, and I saw my buddy Ed Wesker Griff was posting a video, or he was posting something that happened. I think JT Realmuto hit for the cycle, and he posted a link on his Facebook showing, a banner talking about that, which is awesome. It's great for JT Realmuto. Fantastic, super cool. Apparently, it's very rare. Obviously, it's a very rare thing, but it's super rare for Philadelphia. They hadn't done it since, I think he said, since David Bell in 2004, and only 3 Phillies ever or something. I don't know the exact stats, but it's something along those lines. But then I'm looking at the information, and then I see the little logo for the Philadelphia Phillies. The P is all rainbowed up and stuff, and it's all for pride. And I'm just like, what? That has nothing to do with the game of baseball. Literally less than nothing. They don't do that for anything else. Literally nothing else gets that. And so that stuff just makes me nuts. As anybody who knows me knows my channel, that's a very short trip to Nutsville. So, the stuff with Anthony Bass, he stands up for what he believes in, and then he was, strong arm into submission, which, was very cowardly, quite frankly. He should have just stood up for himself and said, I'm not doing that. I'm not saying sorry. I'm not apologizing. Those are my faith. That's my faith. That's my beliefs. And if you don't like it, that's your problem. But no, he apologized. He bent the knee. He groveled at everybody's feet, and then they still demoted him. So it's it didn't matter. I mean, that's what they want. Never apologize. Never apologize. Because then they have you right where they want you. Because they get the apology, they get you to show, completely turn your back on what your belief system is, whatever your values are, your morals, whatever, and then they take you out. I mean, that is right out of the playbook every time. So I do agree with you, Steve. I do just want to watch baseball. I just want to enjoy baseball. I don't want to be bombarded with that stuff, but it's just nuts. I'm like, it's out of control. It really is. But like I said at the beginning of the year, I'm sticking with watching the sports. I've been watching most of my Japanese guys play. They usually, because they're from another country, they kind of just don't get involved in all that. I'm sure if they decide to not participate in whatever it is they're being pushed upon, you would hear all about it in some capacity. But as of right now, they're just kind of just on their own, which is fine. But yeah, anyway, so, it is what it is, man. It just happens. But I try to enjoy it. Right now, I know Kyle Higashioka is catching for the Yankees. I think Max Scherzer is pitching for the Mets tonight. So it's definitely cool to kind of see all that stuff and kind of enjoy that. Enjoy that as best as you can. So like I said, I try to find the good stuff and to celebrate those things and not get caught up in, like I said, the nonsense. But man, it just makes me nuts. I'm gonna definitely do a video here. I'm probably not anytime, maybe not in the next couple of days because I'm busy with my son's baseball and all that, and we're here. But I'm definitely going to talk about more about those kind of things in another Jason Handy video where I'm going to go sideways and all that and be a little bit more matter of fact. But I'm trying to keep this one just quasi lighthearted, just talking about the fun of the trip thus far. Maybe just talk about some of the experiences I've had, which is cool. Yeah, dude, it's annoying. You got it, Steve. And they definitely force feed all that BS on us. It just, it's just ridiculous. I've never in a million years would you think that somebody would force their sexual preferences on everybody, anybody. It's unbelievable. It's just like from another planet. Like they're being force every aspect of somebody's what they do behind closed doors in their own personal life onto every aspect of our culture, and you can't escape it. And if you try to escape it, it's going to be near impossible. So yeah. Anywho, but yeah, I've never been to South Carolina. This is our first time. I've been to Georgia, been to Florida tons, been to North Carolina a couple times. So South Carolina is the first time. I've been really enjoying it. The food is fantastic. Big fan of seafood, which in Indiana, which just in case you don't know American geography very well, or even American geography as far as if you're an American, Indiana is a landlocked state. Just FYI, spoiler alert. So we have some lakes. Obviously, we have lots of rivers, some lakes and things at the top, but no ocean. So seafood is very hard to come by. And so the first night we came here, there's a place called 1229 Shine. I highly recommend if you're in the Myrtle Beach area, either on vacation or you live around this area, I would highly recommend it. I thought it was excellent. We had the Bang Bang grouper. We had some hush puppies. We had some seafood egg rolls. We had shrimp cocktail, and we had something else. Some sort of like shrimp curry, coconut shrimp curry sauce thing. All of it was absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend 1229 Shine in beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Yeah, NFL and NBA definitely worse for sure. We got here on Saturday, this past Saturday. We will be here at least until Friday. We might stay a couple days longer. I'm trying to hook up with and when I say hook up, I don't mean like wink wink hook up. He wishes. I'm trying to meet up with John Mangini. He needs the rub from me. He needs my star power on his channel. So we've been trying to make it work. He has a house in Charleston, which is where him and his family live, and then they have a second house, if I understand correctly. I'm sure he'll tell me more on point if I'm wrong. He has like a second house here in Myrtle Beach area. So we've been trying to get together. It hasn't happened yet. He was actually going to come down here today, but he's trying to make it work with his wife's schedule as well as our schedule. And plus his work schedule. So it's a whole big thing. So we're going to try to do it tomorrow. I think that's the plan. I think we were going to go to Charleston and meet up with him there and do some running around because myself and my son's mom, we're history buffs. We're historical buffs. So we wanted to go see the USS Yorktown, which is a World War II battleship. And that's in Charleston. And there was something else. There's like some kind of like pretty old or traditional tea house up there. There's a few other things I wanted to do. But it just really depends on my son's baseball schedule. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain off and on. It's supposed to rain tonight. So the games might get moved around possibly, or they're going to play because they're guaranteed games because of this tournament. We're the Cal Ripken Jr. Myrtle Beach Experience here. And so Cal Ripken has they have a pre-recorded message from Cal Ripken. So every game, he's sound like he's right next to you, telling you like about the ins and outs and the pros of being a part of this experience, the Cal Ripken Jr. Experience. So tomorrow's kind of up in the air. So we may end up meeting him up, which I really want to go see him in Charleston because that's where his collection is. But we might end up being stuck up here. I don't want to use the word stuck, but we might end up just being here based on his schedule, my son's schedule for baseball. Then we won't get down to Charleston, or up to Charleston, I think is the right terminology, tomorrow. So it's up in the air. So if it doesn't work out, him and his wife's coming up here, or again down here. Again, I'm not for sure about the geography. I'm not from South Carolina. And then we'll hang out maybe tomorrow, me and my ex and him and his wife, and we'll do some hanging out together tomorrow. So it's kind of be TBD, right? Yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with Mangini, Steve. That's the plan. So, and he said he wanted to take me to a shop. There's another card shop called Baseball 17 that I ran into actually today. I didn't go in. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. We're driving around looking for a place to eat. And I saw that, and I was like, hey, like, let's go check that place out. So but since John said he really wanted to take me there, so I'm kind of holding off and seeing if him and I can go together tomorrow or maybe even on Thursday if Thursday works out better. So we'll see. But yeah, that's kind of that. So I'm looking forward to hopefully hanging out with John. Mark from Kentucky, I hung out with him a couple weeks ago, and he was giving me a lot of pointers about South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. And he's been here, I think he said five times or more with him and his family. So he was telling me about some places to hang out. And he's been sending me texts throughout the entire week telling me, hey, you need to check out this place. You need to go there. If you can, go check that out. Eat at this restaurant. John's kind of done the same. But I don't know how you guys are. It's kind of funny because I was talking to the other parents because obviously we're here to watch our kids play baseball. By my ex and I, we love going to all the non-touristy places. We want to hit up all the mom and pop local restaurants, seafood, barbecue, Hispanic or like, Latin American fare, soul food, more Southern style food. Just, mom and pop local businesses like mom and pop, like, even a pancake house or whatever. So it's funny because they'll be asking me like, well, have you tried any new places? I'll tell them like, man, there's so many great places we've tried out so far. And then I start telling them about it. They're like, oh, you mean it's not a buffet? Oh, you mean it's just not like some kind of just like, play by the numbers, like seafood, shrimp place? Nope. They're like, okay. You can almost tell them that's like, I don't want to go to a place that's, like a hole in the wall. I don't want to go to a place that's, kind of, you actually have to, do a little research and make sure it's off the beaten path a bit. And so it's kind of cracks me up because I'm like, dude, you come all the way here and you're going to eat at like Cracker Barrel, or you're going to come all the way here and eat like at like I said, play it safe by the numbers, like a buffet shrimp place. I'm like, and now that some of those places can be good, I'm sure they can be. But it's like, that's the kind of stuff you can get almost anywhere. Like, try to go outside the comfort zone a bit. Hey, what up, Collectors Jim? Hey, what up, Brendan? Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm glad you think I have the right idea. I think I do, too. I've been doing this for decades. We try to go all the places that other people don't go. Like, we do hit up some of the touristy traps places, too, as far as, like, sightseeing. Because it's Myrtle Beach, so, there's not a lot. From what I gathered, I could be wrong, as far as, like, kind of, like, cool shopping to do, or like kind of like off the beaten path shopping. It's like all real touristy, and everything has that like islander kind of like beach vibe and all that. So like a lot of those places are those they just try to get as much money as they can off of you with like all the beach shirts and boogie boards and every kind of rednecky shirts they buy. You buy all those shirts. It was like, oh, a redneck from Kentucky, where they got the I'm a gangster, I love, like I saw a shirt yesterday that said I love sluts. It's like stuff like that. They'll have pro-Trump shirts, pro-Biden shirts, they'll have pro-gay shirts, anti-gay shirts, like they'll have like Christian shirts and anti-Christ shirts. They'll just put anything they can on a shirt or a license plate and try to sell them. They're all the same. I don't like places like that. It's all just like, this gimmicky, this ridiculous stuff. I want to go to like those places that no one else is going to, or at least I would assume off the beaten path. So it's a little bit harder to find, shockingly, in Myrtle Beach and other places, but I do try. Exactly, Brent. You got the deal, man. That's half the fun, is find the local places. Like right before I started making this live video or live stream. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do some live streaming, Steve. And I'm gonna talk. Oh, Simon's like showing the side of the wall. I'm gonna definitely do some live streaming and talking, showing the cars I picked up, and maybe I'll do some more. Maybe I'll do it with John tomorrow. Maybe I'll have to wait to get back to Indiana, show some stuff like this, what I got. I don't have a good setup here at the condo, or else I'll try to do it here, but there's just not really a good setup, so I'll do it back at home. But yeah, man, have the fun. Right before I came here, right before I got on this live stream, my son and I and his mother, he finished his game. He had a decent game. Their team lost, so that kind of sucks. He's been hitting consistently, which is good, but the team hasn't been able to like get anything going. But anyways, he said he wanted to eat Mexican, which again, a Mexican, unfortunately, if you've been in Indiana, Mexican's almost like the same. No matter what Mexican restaurant you go to in Indiana, it's like the same crap at every single restaurant. It's like a McDonald's. They might have different names, but it's still McDonald's wherever you go, right? It's kind of the same. You actually have to find the hole-in-the-wall Mexican places or South American or Central American places in Indiana. And I know because I go to them. But he was kind of thinking he just wants to go to like one of those like play by the numbers Mexican places. But I was looking on this restaurant app I use a lot and look for a good place, and this place had out of 5 stars, it had a 4.9. So I was like, dude, already interested there. Then it was a Central American Honduran joint, and it was called what was the name of the restaurant? It was called Dahlia's Honduran lunch and dinner or something, but Dahlia something. And I told my son, like, hey, you know what? They have burritos, they have chimichangas for the people who are scared of anything, but they had horchatas, which I like. They have pupusas, which is a very Honduran thing. So I like pupusas. They have all kinds of street tacos. So we went there. We go in, and it looks nice on the outside, but on the inside, it looks a little bit rough. There was only one other family in there that were Hispanic. They definitely were not, they weren't white. And so it was it. And my son, I think, got a little bit nervous because he gets nervous whenever a place looks kind of sketch. And I'm like, buddy, dude, I'm like, if it wouldn't have this big of a score, I saw the menu, I've seen all the pictures of the food, it looks great. And it wouldn't have almost a 5 if it was like falling apart and like cockroaches are everywhere. People are gonna like call that stuff out. So he begrudgingly agrees to go. We sit down, he orders himself a chimichanga, which is again some safe thing to order. His mom gets a taco, I get a couple pupusas, and he orders a rice. We bring out the food, and man, he smashes the food. I mean, he ate all that food. He was even eating my food. He was at first game like, he was like, I ain't eating that food, Dad. I was like, dude, it tastes good. I was like, it's chicken and it's cheese. And the pupusa, it's hard to explain because I don't know much about it, but it's like kind of think of it like a pierogi, I guess. It's kind of like a pierogi. It's like a Honduran pierogi. They make it as out of I believe it's out of flour. It's like a pancake, and they stuff it full of chicken in this case and cheese and beans, and then I'm assuming they just fry it, and then it's like inside is this warm and this really like cheesy chicken, like a hot pocket, like I said, like a pierogi. And he started eating some of mine, and his mom even tried it. He was like, dude, Dad, he's like, this is great. I'm like, I told you. So you think I got this fat because I don't like to eat good food? Come on now, son. And then after that, he had like 3 or 4 or 5 bites of it, and I was like, yeah, all right. I'll leave a little bit for me on the bone, so to speak. So, it was good. I mean, that place, like I was telling you before, I went to the seafood place. That's not like your typical run-of-the-mill, like on the beach, and it's like just like some touristy trap place where they make you pay like $20 for like a buffet. They just give you like the seafood from the freaking Kroger section of the Kroger. Yeah, exactly, Brendan. That's right. Yeah, if you get something that is moving, yeah, that's problematic, and I agree with you. That's when you'd be like, check, please. I'm good. And I've had that experience before. I've been to a Mexican place in Anderson, Indiana, the area I live in. I'm not from there, but where I was at. And I remember I was sitting there with a lady friend of mine, maybe 6 years ago at this point, and we ordered some food, again, some street tacos. It was like a legit hole-in-the-wall place in Anderson, Indiana. Well, Carl Erskine lives, the world-famous Brooklyn Dodger, Carl Erskine. And her and I sitting there, we're eating our food and all that, and all of a sudden, I kid you not, I look up, she's sitting there like something like this. She's kind of sitting, there's a wall like right there next to her. And I'm looking at it, and I like in the middle of the restaurant, in the middle of the day, with the lights on. It's not dark. It's not the end of the night. It's not like they're shutting everything off. There was just a cockroach just crawling right up next to her, and I was like, ugh, ugh. Like, nope, I am done. I am done. The food was delicious, but I was like, I couldn't even finish it. I got up and I went and told the lady, I was like, oh man, there's a cockroach on the side of the wall right there. We're done. And of course she hardly spoke English or whatever, because that's convenient when they don't want to pay you back. They don't want to give you back your money. And I was like, la cucaracha, or whatever. And she was like, oh, what? And she came over and it was still sitting there chilling. It was like it had a top hat on, had a little candles, and do a little dance for her. So then, of course, she couldn't say anything, and she was like, probably like, oh, crap. So we worked out a little thing. Like, we ate most of the food. I didn't want to just get the food for free, but I'm like, dude, there's a cockroach right here. Like, we can't do that, man. Like, I can't do cockroaches. If you want me, you're gonna have to buy my silence. So I was like, cut me a deal. Take something off the top of the price of the food, and then we'll call it even. I mean, and that's what happened. We all worked out. But yeah, man. So yeah, I totally understand. You gotta be careful about what you where you go. Sometimes if it looks sketch, sometimes that could not be good. I mean, most times in my mind, sketchy areas are the best places to get food. You just gotta gotta check your surroundings and all that. But usually, if it's the food's good, or you see people there eating the food from that country or that nationality or that area or whatever, it's probably a good indicator the food's pretty good. And that's usually always the case. Yeah, I hope I see Mangini 2 Dream for sure. Yeah, no extra charge. They didn't charge me extra for the cockroach. Yeah, that was on the house for sure. So yeah, it happens. Like I said, I mean, I've been all over Asia. I've been over, eating at restaurants in like some of the most like questionable areas of Asia my entire life. I've been in some real shady areas of like Baltimore, Chicago, DC, and eating all kinds of restaurants. And I had a great time. It was a great experience. It was a little bit, like I said, shady and a little bit scary at times. But yeah, overall. So yeah, the places like that don't really tend to scare me too much. But yeah, overall, it's been a good experience. I wish my son's team, I wish they were having better. We came all the way here from Indiana. There's like I think 6 teams or something, 8 teams in the tournament. We've gotten beat every game so far, which sucks. Today we were winning. Then they tied the game. Then they ended up pulling ahead, and then we caught up with them. And then we held them for 2 or 3 innings, and it looked like we were going to end up winning. They were the home. Okay, hold on. All right, I think I got to go, guys. Sorry. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.